Okay. Ita mixis to go. Good day. It is coming toward afternoon time. I think it's probably around about 11:30 in the a.m. on Moon Day, February 20th, I believe, 2023, in the lunar cycle, moving into the lunar cycle. Pt1, the eagle moon. There is no moon tonight, but maybe tomorrow, the next day, there'll be the first sliver of Pt1, the eagle moon, which is our fifth of 7 lunar cycles in the winter. I am headed into the wilderness park. We have a fresh layer of snow. Just trying to get my daily walk on, and I figured it'd be a good time to come out. It's been snowing overnight. It means any prints that we come across are fairly fresh, and I have an experiment I want to conduct. I have a pineapple that's been sitting in my fridge. I cropped the top off of it and peeled off a couple of slices, and it has since been sitting in my fridge for a couple of weeks. It's not doing great. It's not doing terrible. Still edible, but it's time for me to move with it. And it's so sugary, you know, pineapples are so dense with that sun energy that I don't think I can eat more of it. So I thought I would bring it out here and just experiment and see whether any of the animals out here are into pineapple or would be. I'm curious about porcupine in particular, because if I can find that, I mean, I know there's a good number of porcupine down here, and if I set up a situation with a camera trap here with this pineapple, and if I find that porcupines are drawn to pineapple, maybe that's what I need to start using in my bait, you know. So it's an experiment worth doing for me, for my business, and just to learn whether there are animals down here that would eat such a thing, because I can't eat a whole pineapple. Can't. I don't know what it is. You need like a party to eat a pineapple, you know, a big party. Any case, it's a nice snowy day. We're gonna see who's been walking around by their tracks, and we'll just take a hike through the wilderness park, set up our experiment, and see what's shaking. This is what I mean by lots of berries. This is all choke cherry thickets right here, right at the edge of the tall timber. And I'm just following like deer trails that I have to hunch down to move through, looking for any activity on the ground that might indicate it'd be a good place to set up the experiment. I think somewhere in this vicinity, though. Here we have whitetail tracks. I don't know if the deer will be interested in the pineapple or not. Certainly possible. I wouldn't put it past them. Oh yeah. Here's some porcupine work here. That's a good sign. Yeah, I think somewhere in this area I'm gonna select to choose to put the trap. Well, not trap, but the experiment. Yeah, look, porcupine's been visiting this chokecherry here, and I want to see if Porcupine is interested in pineapple. So I'm going to find a place here. Alright, check out my setup here. I got my pineapple. I got my camera up in these choke cherries, leveled out so it should be able to catch, you know, it's a fisheye lens, so it should be able to catch a lot of the scenery, plus whatever animals are kind of coming out. No doubt deer are going to pass through this little area, but I wonder who's going to be interested in the pineapple. So that is the experiment of the week. I'm going to leave it out here several days through this cold spell we're going to have, at least, and might come back in a few days just to check, see if there's anything that's been done to the pineapple. Then I'll know if I've got footage or not, and we'll see who's interested, if anybody. Continuing my off-trail movement through the park. Been going through this savanna-ish area. There's a few whitetail out here. Haven't seen tracks of anybody else but the deer. So could be some of these other animals are waiting for the snow to move through. I don't know. I'm excited to see who comes to that pineapple. I think I'm going to save this video, and then we'll have the ending included with it. Haven't seen any eagles yet today, which is odd. I'm just looking at the trees way out that way out across the river, where a lot of them like to perch. There's also some over here, but I can't see through these smaller cottonwoods yet to tell if they're out this way. But we're going to see the river here pretty soon. So much for not scaring the waterfowl. There goes all the mallards. And now everybody else knows there's a problem over here. Fabulous. It's geese across the river in that direction. They're getting upset now because the mallards are upset. Yeah, some of them are going to take off. I've caused a ruckus. Try to be careful. Not careful enough. Yeah, I don't see any eagles. Sometimes there's eagles over in these trees on the other side of the river here, but nobody using the typical perches today. That's all right. We're just setting up an experiment anyway. Oh, there they go. Now they're upset. Gee whiz. almost out of the park now. I did have another camera trap in my pack, should I have found a mystery or something out here, or a place where there was an ermine running around. And I guess I haven't looked around all too much either, but I've been walking off trail. I've been checking around places where I thought I might find some sign, and it's just not panning out. Maybe the snow is just too recent and too fluffy too, and it's still coming. So new stuff by little guys especially is probably being covered up already, but I don't know. We'll leave the camera out here a few days and come check on it. Well, a few days have passed, a few nights anyway. It is now Saturday, the 25th of February, and just gonna go down here and check on the scene. I don't know if I'll take the camera away or not. We'll see what's going on there. The last several nights have been freezing, with temperatures dipping even to minus 30, but in the minus 20, 25 range daily. And I don't know how that will possibly have affected the experiment. So we're gonna go see if anybody's even visited the pineapple. Of course, if the pineapple's gone and stuff, or obviously been visited a lot, we'll take the camera away. But we'll see. Let's go check it out. Young eagle surveying for food. Yeah, it's funny. There's barely any tracks along the trail coming down in, you know, a little old coyote track or two, but as soon as you hit the forest, it's just full of deer activity, deer beds, and back and forth everywhere through here. So I take it that during that super cold, they hunkered down in here in the forest mostly. Didn't see much activity along the coulee ledge. So should be getting to the camera here pretty quickly. See if I can find it again. I love following these deer trails through the brush. I think the camera may be over here. I've done a good job concealing it. Not sure I can relocate it myself. Let's see. Oh, there's the camera. I was like, where's the camera? Pretty sure it should be here. There it is. Here's our pineapple. Was it even touched? Well, maybe just a little bit, but not much. Looks like there's a couple of nibbles off one side. think I'm gonna leave the camera to continue for a while. Let's keep this experiment going. Maybe another week or so even. Let's let it warm up and see what happens. It's a very interesting urine stain here in the snow, just kind of snaking along. And this is going to belong to a porcupine whose trajectory is going this way. So maybe we'll encounter him. But it's the porcupine who I'm especially interested in, whether or not they'll go after pineapple. And possibly that bite that was taken out of there is a porcupine bite. You know? Very possible. Let's see if I can keep up with these tracks or if I lose them. If it mixes in with a bunch of deer stuff, it's going to be difficult. Shuffles this way. It's going under there. These are totally different, older tracks. Let's see if I can catch on to this guy again. I don't know, we're in that fucking, get into that area where there's a lot of deer, and I'm not sure this is the right track I'm on anymore. Dang. I was hoping we could trail right to the source, which sometimes is pretty easy to do with porcupine in the snow. But we'll check the trees here before we go. I think we're gonna run, actually, you know what I should do? I'm gonna go back and swap out data cards. We're gonna find out right now who visited the pineapple so far. I'll swap out data cards because I have another camera here, and I'll take that data card and yeah, clean it out at home. So yeah, we're gonna find out to this part one who visited the pineapple, and then right now when I leave, I think I'm gonna go to Spopikimi. If there's anything interesting happen there, I'll include some footage of that as well. But yeah, go back and swap out cards so we can at least see what's up so far. It's killing me. All right, nix the idea of being able to see who created that bite right away. I don't even know if we're gonna be able to see it at all. First of all, the two SD cards for the different cameras are different. Hey, I got one that's a micro SD and one that's a larger SD card. So not gonna work for the switch out. But more than that, when I opened the camera to pull the card, it appeared to me that the camera wasn't even turned on, which I distinctly remember taking the steps to turn that camera on. So I wonder if someone came along and turned it off, or if I'm just losing my mind. And I guess we'll find out after maybe another 5-6 nights. I'm just gonna leave it going here while the weather warms up and see if I can draw a porcupine to it. All right, so Gonna head to Spopikami. If there's anything there, I'll add it to this segment. May put this out today as a part 1, just to get something out there. Let you know that I'm not doing nothing, but for most of the week I was. It's way too cold. Just holed up in the house, and for the most part took a couple of drives, but just around town. Nowhere special. Well, not that Lethbridge isn't special. You know what I mean. Anyway, let's go check out the pond. Okay. It's actually Sunday morning now. I did visit Spopikami yesterday, but I didn't see much going on worth filming. This morning, however, on the walk and talk, seen a few like little patches of geese upstream. I think the geese are starting to square off into couples, and will be, you know, in the next lunar cycle are going to be putting their nests out, you know, laying their eggs. So we're getting there. This current lunar cycle, Pt1, the eagle moon, there should be eagles making nests and owls. And after checking out the geese and the golden eyes upstream, we came this way, just across the river here, and we noticed here on this side of the river, or I noticed there was an eagle in the tree. In fact, looks a lot like this, hey? Like an eagle in a tree. Now he's on the other side of the river, hey? Where is he? See if I can find my... Is that him? It's hard for me to see in this there we go. This viewfinder. But yeah, I noticed just like this an eagle across the river sitting on a tree, and I kind of approached the river and then noticed 2 other eagles that had been eaten on a goose carcass that's just over here, and I think they might still be around. We're gonna go see. One of them flew off. I videotaped that one for a while as he kind of went back and forth, considering coming back in for a landing here, I think. 2 of them actually flew off, but one of them I filmed. And then the other one stuck around and continued to eat at the carcass, but not while I was observing. If I'm observing, he's up in a tree opposite side of the river waiting me out. So we'll see here. We're going to go over right now and see if anybody's feeding at this carcass. I think it's just ahead a little ways here. There's the watcher. Might be the one. He might have seen me coming and went and got perched. Dang. There was still one down here. It's really hard for me to get footage of them eating. In the past, I've usually had to stick something out like a bait, you know. So this is that one that's been eating here the last while this morning. Really doesn't want to leave the food source. Which is right there, hey? That's what the bird was eating. Boom. Carcass. Alright. Where'd he go? I don't know. I still see his buddy across the river, but I don't see the one. These geese are like, what's up? Darn. Alright. Well, at least we got to see some eagle in flight. I guess we'll close off the video there for this one, part 1 of the pineapple experiment, and see where we go this week.